Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is Daryl Guberman, and I'm going to get right into this. April 2nd, I attended the Ted Cruz chairman and Kelly Oberg Inquisition Boeing CEO. I want to read this to you and see how important it is. I still say this as a shareholder. If Boeing doesn't utilize my talents and abilities, I've offered them my services for months now. They basically ignored me, and I am a shareholder. I'm going to read this to you. Sit back, relax, and here it goes. Boeing at a crossroads. Why only a Clydesdale of quality like Daryl Guberman can save American skies? In the heart of Washington, D.C., on April 2nd, the Senate Commerce Committee convened an inquisition that should have sent tremors through Boeing's leadership. CEO Kelly Oberg sat under intense questioning from Senator and Chairman Ted Cruz. As the committee sought clarity and accountability in the wake of Boeing's mounting safety failures, amid the proceedings, a crucial voice was not absent. It was right in the gallery. Daryl Guberman, a seasoned quality assurance expert and proud Boeing shareholder, was present, observing every moment with watchful eye. Just 1 week before the hearing, Guberman had sent an overnight booklet to committee chairman Ted Cruz. This meticulously prepared document detailed Boeing's alarming departure from quality norms, including the withdrawal of the 2 supplier notifications from April 2nd or April 2002 and July 2002 that had been up on Boeing's supplier portal for almost 23 years. Because of Guberman's exposure, Boeing took it down because those 2 documents illustrate not only negligence by Boeing, but downright stupidity. And I must say, in the April 2002 supplier bulletin, it was about special processes run by Performance Review Institute, about NADCAP, heat treatment, welding, etc. It said, we are eliminating, Boeing said this in the document, we are going to be eliminating redundant inspections, just send us your certs, send us your parts, and we're good to go. In July 2002, it specified an AS9100 certification must be ANSI ANAP accredited. Why? Because Boeing sat on ANSI ANAP's website, on the web page, management committee that can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification. ANSI ANAP took that down in August of 2024. On the supplier portal, it states, a third-party register must be ANSI, ANAB, or internationally equivalent, and then you have the supplier bulletin of 2002 that they most recently took down in January of 2025, along with the special processes of April 2002. Then in 2009, the decision that allowed Boeing to self-certify its own aircraft technologies like the MCAS system, and aircraft designs, as an agency of the FAA, where the FAA came in and made some of Boeing employees Boeing/FAA inspectors, where Boeing was paying their salary. Thus, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think that those Boeing/FAA inspectors had first allegiance to? Of course, the management. Because it was the management and not the FAA they had allegiance to, that meant, and this is what the news media is not telling you, that meant that the CEO was not just the CEO of Boeing, but they were the de facto FAA administrator. During the hearing, when Guberman boldly announced his shareholder status and referenced the booklet that he had sent Ted Cruz just a week prior, the atmosphere shifted. As he began to articulate his concerns, the chairman barked, "Order, order, or I will throw you out." Before anyone could fully appreciate his words or allow the insight to resonate, security intervened. Despite the committee commander, Senator Ted Cruz, attempting to maintain order and listen to the critical perspective, security escorted Guberman out of the meeting. Outside, while the session continued without him, several senators later approached him with apologies. They acknowledged that his presence and his revelations should have been given proper consideration rather than being silenced by procedural rigidity. This episode is not merely a procedural hiccup. It is an emblematic of Boeing's broader systematic failures. For over 4 decades, Daryl Guberman has been a relentless advocate for uncompromising quality and accountability. His years of experience have shown him that the roots of Boeing's issues run deep, a culture that values image over integrity, where self-regulation has replaced independent oversight. Boeing's reliance on third-party certifications, both for Performance Review Institute special processes, i.e. NADCAP, and also the AS9100 certification accredited by ANSI-ANAB. And let me interject this. Boeing was never certified by ANSI-ANAB. I wonder what type of quality procedures they had in place for 20 plus years. Probably it was ad hoc. Choose what you want. What are you going to do? Okay. And they most recently, in August of 2024, started to work on getting certified AS9100. But they demanded that from their suppliers for over 20 plus years. How bad that is? What is that certificate going to be accredited to? ANSI-ANAB or one of their internationally equivalents, which is still like getting it from ANSI-ANAB? Their certification is fraudulent. Absolutely. They sat on Boeing's management committee that could grant, suspend, and withdraw certification on ANSI-ANAB's website. That was taken down. They demanded on the supplier portal third-party registrars must be ANSI-ANAB or internationally equivalent. And also the supplier bulletin, of course, where it says it must be ANSI-ANAB accredited. This has created an environment where true quality assurance is compromised. The very fact of empowering the company to self-certify, an authority granted in 2009, has undermined the safety standards that should be non-negotiable in the aerospace industry. If CEO Kelly Oberg and the Boeing board continue to sideline seasoned experts like Daryl Guberman, they risk perpetuating a cycle of complacency that could lead to further disasters. History has shown us that when quality assurance is neglected, the consequences are dire. Former leaders like David Calhoun, who got $45 million for the Alaska air door popping off and retiring, still I think he's a board member, and Dennis Muhlenberg, who got $60 million for 346 people getting killed in the Ethiopian Air and Indonesian airline, have already experienced the fallout of inadequate oversight, but they still got paid for these disgusting displays of quality out of control, and up to including death. Let this be a clarion call. Boeing is not in need of another dark horse to be paraded around as a savior. What it urgently requires is a strong, formidable Clydesdale, a guardian of quality who can bulldoze through bureaucratic inertia, restore accountability, rebuild the trust that has been so callously eroded. That guardian is me, Daryl Guberman, 203-556-1493. Boeing must recognize that its future depends on more than just promises and apologies. It depends on the unwavering commitment to quality that only an independent, experienced expert like Daryl Guberman can provide. And I make no bones about it. I've heard David Calhoun do the apology deal. I heard Kelly Oberg do, yes, there were some missteps. They're all bullshitting these committees, but what they need is they need a true and tried individual that can roll up their sleeves and go attack this matter. Sitting in an office or playing golf on a golf course does not make a good aircraft. It is using your hands, it is using your mind, and it is using your heart. And most importantly, as a shareholder, we have a vested interest. And I thank you.